Baba, some of the women, Mandli and I, were once at a place called Vengurla. Baba didn't go there just for having some relaxation or rest at the seashore, but he had some work with the musts there. He had to contact musts. So after our initial contact, on the first day, Baba wanted the women to go out swimming. There's a good beach over there. So Baba led the women there to the beach. And I had to also accompany Baba. So the women were shown the place where they can have their swim. And we waited at a distance. And Baba got the women to go for a swim too. So I enjoyed it after many years. Baba and I had a swim there in the sea, in the ocean. And after the swim, Baba signaled to the women saying that he was leaving for the must contact and that they should not delay much but return back to the rest house where they were staying. So on our way to the must, Baba got a plan and said that instead of going roundabout, which was about 3 miles walking distance, why can't we cross the sea, you see? There is, I don't know what you all call, here in India we call the backwaters, where you see when there is no tide, when there's an ebb, all the portion that is vacant of the water, sea water, stinks like anything. What do you call that in the States? You have no idea. Right. Well, we here call that, you see. So, but there always remains a pool of water, which is very deep too. It's a sea, by the way, it's a sea. So, but then, you see, all the sewages and everything just enters the sea, that portion, and then when there's an ebb, it all starts stinking. It's nothing but slush. Sometimes it is waist deep, sometimes it is 10 feet, sometimes 20, sometimes 50 feet, depending upon the shore. So this was quite deep, nearly 30, 40 feet deep. But there were boys playing there, you see, and the fishermen there. The fishermen had finished their daily chore by that time, and they must have gone to sell the fish. The boys were playing with the canoes that they had prepared of the the tree trunks. Baba thought that if we could cross the sea, which was just a distance of about, say, 400 to 500 yards, it will be easy. We can cross to the place where the mast was in no time, instead of walking a distance of 3.5 miles. I tried to tell Baba that it was no use taking this risk. It was very risky because we can never depend upon the boys, and especially with that contraption they had, see, of a trunk of a tree carved out into a sort of a canoe, you see. It was very dangerous. So, but Baba insisted on going that way. And I had Baba's clothes and everything of the sort. And special satchel which contained Baba's board and napkin and things for the mast and all that. But Baba insisted, so there was no other go. Baba told me to tell the boy, arrange it with the boys, you see. So I called the boys and told them that I am prepared to give a good tip if they can carry both of us across this dirty, stinking surface of water, you see, and drop us there at the other end. So they were very happy, very enthusiastic. And the way they became enthusiastic, I was terrified, you see. Because with the boys, you see, nothing is certain. They don't take anything seriously. And especially these fisher folk, they're all the time in the water. They don't mind being just in the water, and they don't realize what it is for us, you see, to be drenched. Well, it was all arranged. They brought a good canoe, you see, for us, for Baba and myself. And it was very difficult to balance it. And I told the boys that nobody should sit inside and they should just push the canoe very neatly to the other side. And they were trying to do that. In the meantime, half a dozen other boys, you see, from other canoes, they thought that it was a wonderful sight to see these two people dressed up and all that sitting in the canoe. They came and tried to tease the other boys. So the boys who were carrying us across, they were serious and they took us seriously. But the other boys distracted them, and it so happened in a moment's time, you see, the whole thing turned topsy-turvy, and we were right inside the ocean there, in the deep slush. We were just going down and down. And of course we knew to swim and all that, so I just caught hold of Baba's arm, you see, I could get hold of Baba's arm under that. We couldn't see also, it was so dirty underwater. And then we both got out, swam the distance, you see, and we were full of dirt, nothing but dripping. I don't know how we managed to breathe also in that short time. It was stinking like anything. So Baba told me to go back home as soon as possible, that the women should not know about it, otherwise they will not like the idea, you see. And that more because Baba cared for me, the women might admonish me for such a bold step, you see, to take Baba like that. So naturally it was my duty not to reveal to them that Baba insisted. So I went there and got a spare clothes for Baba. I arranged for buckets of water there. I took Baba behind a hut, and he just washed his hair and face and all that and body. And then he put on new. I was in my old dirty dress. I had no time for all this. Then Baba and I walked, you see. I looked like a ghost in that dirty clothes of mine, walking through the street with Baba. And then he contacted the mosque. And while we returned, Baba was so happy with the contact. He says, well, today we had a very interesting experience. And says, you remember how you lent your arm and brought me out of the slush? I said, yes, Baba. Fortunately, I could get hold of your arm and pick you up. Give a lift, that's all. He says, I will also do the same thing when the time comes for you, to pick you out of slush, the worldly slush. And that was a great day for me to get this assurance of the God-man. That's the story.